Greetings, villains and vigilantes, heroes and heroines. You're tuned in to Project SuperVillain. I'm your host, Arc Drifter, and today we are jumping into the top 10 games of October. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into it. Number 10, Jasant. Coming out October 31st for the PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series S and X. Developed and published by Don't Nod. This game is an action puzzler that has you playing as a climber ascending to the top of what seems to be an endless tower. While you learn and use your different tools to climb, you'll encounter dangers and learn the secrets of the tower. Scaling breathtaking new heights, you'll learn to master your climbing techniques, while learning new skills, collecting, and making use of different tools found throughout your ascent. This game looks unique, cute, and at times terrifying. Quite the mixture. Number 9, Slay the Princess. Coming out October 20th for the PC exclusively, it's developed and published by Black Tabby Games. This is a choose-your-own adventure game where you play as, I guess, yourself, but you need to kill this princess that's locked away in a basement. You don't know why, and aside from the narrator telling you to do it, that seems to be the only reason you're supposed to. Supposedly you'll find many different endings as each choice you make leads to a different path. Should you kill the princess? Maybe she's not so bad. Who knows? Who's really telling the truth, the narrator or the princess? Honestly, we don't know much about this game. It's called Slay the Princess, so maybe you actually are supposed to slay the princess. I don't actually know. I think I'm droning on. I'm gonna move on. Number 8, Forza Motorsport. Coming out October 10th for the PC and the Xbox Series S and X, it's developed by Turn 10 Studios and published by Xbox Game Studios. The racing phenomena returns in its 8th installment of the Motorsport sub-series. In one of the most Xbox moves possible, the devs opted to drop the 8 and just call it Forza Motorsport. They love to confuse people over there. So they've updated the driving mechanics. It looks so real, and they've added dynamic time of day that changes while you're racing. Temperature changes with the weather and the time of day. That makes the roads react respectively. More realism in every department, including car damage as well. That seems to be it for new features aside from what was mentioned. Obviously, it's a Forza game, so you can expect more of the same from what the other games have provided, except what we're looking at is a new Forza game that looks and theoretically feels better than ever. A truly generational leap in immersion for the Forza series. At least that's what they're saying over at Xbox. I guess we'll have to find out for ourselves on the 10th of October. Number 7, Detective Pikachu returns. This little dude's returning October 6th for the Nintendo Switch. It's developed by Creatures and published by the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. You'll be returning to Rhyme City. Pikachu's partner Harry is missing, and it's up to you to find him. Tim, who's Harry's son, is able to understand Pikachu, and they embark on a journey to find Harry. The game consists of many different mini-games centered around you finding evidence. Pikachu can talk to other Pokemon, and they'll sometimes help you with the tasks that you're currently doing. It's up to you to uncover the mysteries of Rhyme City on October 6th. Number 6, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Coming out October 5th for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series S and X, developed by Ubisoft Bordeaux and published by Ubisoft. So this time around we're taking a dive even further into the past, before Altair and Assassin's Creed 1, but still taking place after the very early events of Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. This one seems to be a return to form for the series, reverting back to its roots with a setting taking place in Baghdad, and the landscape and map layout is very similar to that of the original Assassin's Creed. While the original Assassin's Creed isn't set in Baghdad, the layout is remarkably nostalgic. In the quote-unquote real world, you are trying to find another piece of Eden, which, for the non-Assassin's Creed enthusiast, think of them like Infinity Stones from the Avengers. But all in all, this looks like a terrific return to form for the series, and I'm interested to see if Mirage finds a place in the Game of the Year nominee conversation. Number 5, Sonic Superstars. Coming out October 17th for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and the Nintendo Switch. It's developed and published by Sega and also developed by Arzest and Sonic Team. What we're looking at here is a new Sonic game that uses the classic Sonic game controls in that ever-loved side-scroller style. Its main caveat is that it is a 4-player local co-op experience, allowing other players locally to control Knuckles, Tails, and Amy. I don't know why Amy looks like that. Something's a little bit off about that. I can't put my finger on it. I think maybe it's the clothes. Anyway, there's also a battle mode allowing you to either race each other or kick each other's asses. So not only that, but the campaign mode, obviously, the 4-player local experience lets you go through the whole story if you'd like to. But yeah, there's also this extra battle mode that allows you to fight each other and race each other. And there's a couple other mini games as well. Online battle mode is actually up to 8 players. So the online functions are separate from the local functions. And you can only do online mode with up to 4 to 8 players online. There's a specific section for this stuff. So the offline stuff is completely separate. The story mode's completely separate. But the online features allow a variety of game types, and you play as your own custom fighter, and that basically is a metal version of Sonic. So you basically customize your own character in the online portion of the game, and yeah, that seems pretty cool. This game does seem like it has some character to it. I really appreciate the fact that we are getting a nice co-op experience, especially local. We don't see a lot of those. Yeah, and yeah, this game looks really good, so I hope it does good. Number 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Coming out October 20th for the Nintendo Switch exclusively, it's developed and published by Nintendo, of course. In this new installment to the Mario Bros. Franchise, we see a return to the classic and beloved side-scroller style, and much like new Super Mario Bros., it features a 4-player co-op focus this time, allowing us to play as Peach, Daisy, Toad, and Toadette, on top of the easy mode options in Nabbit and the multicolored Yoshis. If you're playing as the latter characters I just mentioned, easy mode means you can get hit by enemies and you won't die, only perishing if you fall off a cliff. This game takes place in the Flower Kingdom, a surprisingly unexplored area in the Mario franchise, despite it being in multiple Mario Kart games. There are a ton of new items, but the most prolific one are the Wonder Flowers. They make you high as a kite and experience the world differently, so you can do anything on these magic flowers. No, for real though, touching a Wonder Flower will drastically alter the map or your character and basically just make some wild shit happen. Regardless, you don't know what it's going to do until you do it. This game looks magnificent, and honestly, it's kind of crazy to me that we're getting both a multiplayer Mario and Sonic game in the same month. This month in general is just so stacked, honestly, so this is really good. Can't wait for this to come out on October 20th. Number 3, Alan Wake 2. Coming out October 27th for the PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series S and X. Developed by Remedy Entertainment and published by Epic Games. The return to the third-person horror classic has you reprising your role as Alan Wake, trying to remember the manuscript of a novel he doesn't remember writing. Taking place directly after the events of the first game and the spin-off American Nightmare, Alan has to find a way to escape the dark place. He has to deal with the fact that he now has a double. It's believed, due to the constant rumors of Alan's disappearance, that an evil version of him has been conjured. I think if you want to clear up any confusion about what's going on, I recommend playing Alan Wake Remastered and the American Nightmare pseudo-sequel that explains a lot about Alan's double. If you're unfamiliar with the franchise, just know it's a great horror concept that has you fighting dark entities, usually using flashlights to your advantage, as these dark enemies hate the light. Perfect game for the month of spookiness that is October. I hope this one matches that awesomeness that the first one had. Number 2, Ghost Runner 2. Coming out October 26th for the PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series S and X, developed by One More Level and published by 505 Games. Oh boy, this is going to be good. Ghost Runner returns. We absolutely loved the first game here at PSV and couldn't recommend it more. It won our Platformer of the Year and was nominated for multiple other awards too. It's peak fast-paced puzzle solving. Dash your way through a gorgeous and dark cyberpunk world. You're now playing as a fully sentient AI known as Jack. And while I'm sure there's some evil shit to take care of, I couldn't care less about the story in comparison to the balls-of-the-wall gameplay itself. Each level you play will be comprised of multiple stages with unique threats and layouts. Your job is to get through each stage without being hit once. You're very squishy, but you also one-hit everything, like a true glass cannon. Find the smoothest path to victory and hardcore parkour yourself around to get to objectives and to the hard-to-reach enemies. You have powers and can customize your build to change your gameplay style. There's ways to deflect easier, there's special homing attacks, and so much more. Looks like this time around, there's even some form of vehicle riding. I can't hype this game up enough. I have full confidence it'll be a banger, so definitely check this one out when it comes out on the 26th. Time for the honorable mention, that is Dave the Diver. This game is developed and published by Mint Rockets, also developed by Nexon. I'm cheating a little bit with our honorable mention here. Dave the Diver actually released last year for the PC exclusively, like I said. However, with the Switch launch coming up, I wanted to take the chance to show you guys how cool this game really is. You play as Dave, and you've been hired to go down to the ocean to catch all sorts of fish and ingredients to make awesome food above the water in a restaurant you're helping with. It's a roguelite, so if you die, your run is over, and that's that. You'll have to go down another time with a new layout each time, as this isn't just any ocean, or this is a massive hole in the earth that's filled with very blue water, and it's super mysterious. Not surprising, the first thing humans do with a thing like this is open a restaurant above it and using its inhabitants. Ah, don't you love capitalism? Anyway, you'll get different tools throughout your adventure and find many wild things as well. On top of this, there are a number of extra activities aside from the main gameplay loop, like farming, taking your photos, and watching seahorse races, to name a few. Number 1, Spider-Man 2. Coming out October 20th for the PS5, obviously Spider-Man 2 had to be mentioned. This is developed by Insomniac Games, published by Sony. Finally, we take another step into the shoes of Peter Parker. After a few years to wait, I couldn't be happier to see the arrival of Spider-Man 2 to our lineup of games. This game takes place after the events of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and it appears Peter has access to the symbiote we saw at the end of Spider-Man 1. Black Suit Spider-Man will play a big part in this game, as it appears Peter's character will be struggling with managing the effects of the symbiote, which always goes well for him. Yep, I'm sure nothing bad will happen, and he will just stop using the symbiote when it's served its use, of course. Yeah, that seems logical. Anyway, you'll be swapping between Peter and Miles in the game. Obviously, it'll be up to Miles to keep an eye on the rapidly changing mood of Peter Parker. The gameplay mechanics we know and love return with all the trademark fluidity it's known for. More gadgets and doodads to make life as Spider-Man more convenient and enjoyable for the player. For instance, it looks like we have a flight suit now, and in the trailers it really shows you cruising in that bitch, as if the traversal in this game series wasn't already better than any other game I've ever played. Just looks awesome. Look how fast he goes when he takes off from his slingshot too. Like, you just cruise across the map. It's beautiful. This potential Game of the Year nomination makes its way to the shelves on October 20th. Don't miss it. Well, that concludes the top 10 games of October. These were some amazing picks. This has truly been the most stacked month of the year, as it usually is, honestly. Let us know down below what your favorite game was. I know I have a couple on here that I am really looking forward to, but I'd love to hear your opinions as well. And if you think I missed any games, let me know which ones I missed as well. Of course, if you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. You can also check me out at ArcDrifter pretty much on any platform. My links are down below as well. And that's going to be it for today's video. So if you enjoyed, please support us if you can. And thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Project dismissed. PJ.